Accomplishments of the Civil Rights Movement. 1964, the Civil Rights Act. After Kennedy's assassination, President Johnson fought to get the Civil Rights Act passed. It took 6 months, and Southern states filibustered for 83 days to avoid it. In the end, the act passed. It outlawed discrimination in hiring. The act created the EEOC, the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, to help members of the Black community obtain fair treatment in businesses and unions. The law once and for all ended segregation in public places. It prohibited discrimination because of race, color, religion, and national origin. All citizens had the right to enter libraries, parks, washrooms, restaurants, and theaters. It forbade discrimination in schools and allowed the Attorney General to file suit to speed up desegregation. While segregation was now illegal, many local governments and police in the South did not follow the laws, causing it to remain an issue. It was also supposed to outlaw unequal application of voter registration requirements, but did not address intimidation, poll taxes, or literacy tests. These would have to be addressed later in different laws. 1964, the 24th Amendment. The 24th Amendment banned poll taxes in federal elections. Later, the Supreme Court ordered all poll taxes to be abolished, including those in local elections. A major hurdle against the black vote had been crossed out. The secret word is T-Rex. 1965 Voting Rights Act. On March 15, 1965, while Martin Luther King and the marchers were still making their way to Montgomery, Alabama, President Johnson proposed the Voting Rights Act and explained to the American public how election officials had denied the black community the vote. He then spoke to Congress and asked for them to help end the barriers that had prevented black voters from voting. After a month of debate, the act was passed on a vote of 77 to 19. The Voting Rights Act of 1965 ended literacy tests. In areas where more than 50% of non-white voters had not registered, it required that federal examiners register qualified voters to make sure that voting rights were not denied during the registration process. As a result, more members of the black community registered to vote and had legal means to challenge mistreatment at the polls. In Mississippi alone, voter turnout increased from 6% in 1964 to 59% in 1969. The Civil Rights Movement had now achieved 3 of its major goals. It had ended segregation in schools, it had ended segregation in public places, and it had ended limitations on voting, which restricted the votes of the black community.